All right. Tonight I was going to talk about how what it's like to receive support. But a much more powerful topic has come through, and that is um the power of having your space held. All right. I wanna today I posted a video on Facebook, Instagram with uh, I think one video on this which I talked about if you are unable to hold a space for your kid, all right, you may lose them emotionally, or you may find yourself being alienated from them, either emotionally and even physically. All right. Just because women are historically more emotionally receptive. All right. So when I talk about holding space, this is what I mean being emotionally receptive. And yeah. All right. So I'm gonna break down what this means. All right. What um having your space held means, what holding space means, and the impact of it. So I'm going to share how my my life has been impacted when I've had my space held, and what your life could look like when you have your space held. All right. So, so let's just go straight into it. Short intro. My name is Trappist. I am a life coach for single dads and men. Anyone who resonates with this energy, essentially anyone who's trying to overcome the overwhelm and so on. This is my seventh year of coaching. I've done 10,000 hours of mindfulness work. I'm also doing my embodiment coaching scholarship. So yeah, a lot has been poured into me to have me open up and for me to become more emotionally receptive. All right. And I feel like that's a good starting point, right? These things have allowed me to open up and expand my own consciousness beyond my ego, beyond whoever I was thought to be, whoever I identified myself as. All right, these tools and practices and um, years of uh, pursuing um, personal development work, that I would say that held space for me to open up and expand my consciousness. All right. So I didn't so that's my first point with how can like courses and educational material content, all right, they can all hold a space for you, right, as they have been. And it's my perception that social media will eventually change towards where we get to choose the type of content that we would like to actively tune into, just like Netflix. So, on Netflix, you can choose what category of content you want to consume. Yeah, I think social media will be the same thing. All right, so yeah, I don't want to go too fast on this, right? Because at the same time, I want to hold a space for you so that you can just simply unwind and just take this information in. All right. So, with the concept of holding space, all right, that's where I'll start. All right. And I want to essentially, my intention is to hold this space for you, all right, so that your journey gets to be easier, all right, lighter in terms of you having to carry less weight, less burden, less on your own. All right. Um, so I think let's start there, right? Let's start there with my intention. And as we go along, that definition of holding space and what that means will inevitably form. All right. So the benefit of having you be in a space where someone has already done the work, has already gone through a lot of the emotions, has already gone through a lot of the challenges. Remember, it's either me or as another coach, right? I personally recommend that you seek out as much support as you can get. All right. In terms of anyone who you feel is aligned with you, who resonates with you, you like their work, you like their style, their vibe, their content, the way they talk, the pacing of their words, all right. All of that essentially holds a space for a particular person. Now, for example, with most of the coaching content out there, all of it is essentially this, especially for men, it's and women, actually both, everyone. Like 99% of it is very masculine, hyper masculine, and it's very in the man up culture, even for women, because women are pushed into a man's world and they have to battle it out in corporate and stuff like that to be validated, all right. So it's a man's world through and through, but it's an unhealthy man's world in terms of the constant man up culture, all right, that drives everyone into an insanity, which exhausts everyone. It's a constant pushing, doing force until at the expense of your life force. And that's the entire tone of the coaching industry right now. All right. And because the entire society functions at that consciousness where they really buy into, okay, if I keep pushing and doing, I'll finally be validated because success is the ultimate validation is the ultimate success. So yeah, everyone falls into that trap. I am unwinding that mindset programming from myself, because it's been driving me into insanity. And I am here to now hold space for other guys, other men, other people who want a safe space, a safe container, right? A private space, whatever, right? Private group, a private community, a private session, whatever it may be, private group in session, this private live, right? So that it's safer to tune out of all that noise of having to constantly trade your life force for the constant doing and the validation, like that need for validation. Finally, let that go and decide that you're good enough now. You've accomplished enough. You're a good enough dad. You've done enough in your career, etc. We may want to do more, of course, right? We all do. But as of now, it's that internalized pushing is what is driving you into insanity, all right? And total exhaustion, etc., etc. Yeah. So that was the first point. So I'm just letting that sink in because that was quite a lot there. All right. The definition of holding space may not have been articulated, but I really gone into what that feels like and it looks like. Oh. So that was the first part of it. All right. So yes, I was saying that I recommend that everyone should seek out as much support as you can possibly get. All right, to hold a space for you so that you can really be what I tell my guys is that you no longer have to bottle in your stuff and because you'll eventually explode on someone you care about or someone who cares about you. So it's good to just have that listening ear. There are many Facebook groups out there, many guys who would love to hear you out. All right. So that's just my prompt to go and find several if you haven't already. Yeah, so that's the first level of support I recommend. All right. Second tier would be coaches, because we have a more elevated sense of consciousness on what is what and what has been going on and such. My favorite male coach is Leo Bura. He's actualize.org. 10, 10 out of 10. Yeah, if I could be uh yeah, as smart. Yeah, just goals, right? Like goals. So yeah, he's incredible. Yeah, he blew my world open, and I just loved how uh smart he is was. So, um, and I love his compassionate tone because he wasn't like everyone else. He was wisdom and knowledge with compassion. So that compassion, even though his material was so high level, that compassion is what held a space for me and everyone else who's there. And there's like 1 million subscribers now. All right. And I ended up doing his yeah. And because of that space he held for me for years, when I followed him, I ended up doing his life purpose course, and I quit my job, full-time job, in corporate, and I just pursued my life purpose, having no idea what it was. And I just went on this unrelenting journey to find whatever my life purpose was. All right. And yeah, life purpose can be many things, right? A teacher, speaker, leader, a mother, dad, right? But I was looking for it specifically for my career, and then eventually, after many years, I found this, right? So yeah, inevitably. So yeah, that's the power of him holding space for me is what got me here, right? So yeah. Mm, mm. Yeah, this is where most creators would normally just pause and cut this part of the video and edit it out. But I'm going to use these pauses to let stuff sink in, to recalibrate my own thoughts, and to hold this space as well. All right. So, yeah. Oh, so, yeah, so I was talking about coaches, all right? And yeah, like coaches, especially who does free stuff like this, right? Free lives. Um, because every time I come live, every time a coach who resonates with you comes live, what happens on you may not realize this, but I instantly feel it, right? The person who enters a live room or a live video on any platform, their consciousness enters, and yeah, literally that space instantly changes. All right. Now, because in this space, I hold the intentions of this space, I already have programmed before that it will be material words that will help you in the best possible way. It doesn't matter who enters and how badly battered up they are emotionally, all right? The challenges they've gone through, the pains they have faced and still harbor, um, the anger and hatred and bitterness and resentment that they hold, that you might hold, you still hold. I still feel these emotions trapped within me still. And I feel like this is just part of our human nature in being more and more real with ourselves and understanding that our experiences has really suppressed things and we we just have so many layers to us and life is simply an unlayering, and this is what a safe space does. It gives us that space to feel safe enough to open up, right? Opening up is the first step, and then we can unlayer, remove a layer of uh the suffering or pain, anguish that we may have gone through. And this is what a safe space does. All right. Yeah, it gives that permission to do so unapologetically, meaning that there's no repercussions, for example, that your parents may have given you or whoever raised you for showing anger and bitterness and stuff, right? Of course, it's disrespectful to just attack, verbally abuse a coach or someone. It can be traumatic, but just having a safe space to know that it's important that you feel your feelings and they are all valid and very real and very important that they've come up now. All right. That is that is, yeah, I think much needed. All right. So in my embodiment coaching certification that I'm doing now, um my new coach, well, she's my coach like 6 7 years, but she is holding this space for us because women are masters of emotions more so than men because they are much more emotional. All right, she is guiding us towards really uh going deep into them, embodying them deeply, these emotions, these um terrible emotions that we've been so afraid of expressing in today's world. Oh, she's, really the embodiment of unapologetic feeling and embodiment. Yet she just feels these emotions unapologetically, right? There was a video she did, and she just went so deep into it. She cried profusely on camera. Uh, you know, um, and she really went into the rage and bitterness and everything that she went through, all right, all of these challenges that made her who she is today. And that was so raw, real, and powerful, and that's held a space, meaning that I'm the example, all right. This is what it means. I'm holding this space where you can feel your feelings to this extent, so you don't need to be ashamed about them. All right. So that's what holding space means as well. Uh so yeah, I may or may not do this. I'm just going with it on a day-to-day basis. But it's the same intention where we're able to be raw and real. Like, I'm not here to be anyone's guru because you are your greatest guru. Like, you're profoundly a million, infinitely better guru for yourself than I could ever be, or anybody else could ever be for you, because all of the wisdom, knowledge, and answers you are seeking is within you. Um, it's deeply embedded in your DNA, in your being. All right. I'm simply that person who is holding this space, right, for that to come out of you, and you get to blossom and open up, right? Like a grand tree, like a rainforest, right? The most spectacular flower. All right. So that's another example of holding space, right? Yeah. So again, I just want to, yeah, uh, it's really important that you have your space held for you so that we actively navigate against the currents of society, which is constantly 24/7 telling you to do more. You're not good enough. It's the devil in your ear. By Napoleon Hill, that book, right? I still have to read it, but I know it's that theme. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, this is such a good live already, right? So, yeah, yeah, what I was saying, yeah, where whenever I pause, it's because I feel like I have to slow down and allow that information to sink in. All right. I still feel like I need to slow down, so I'll just be here. All right. Yeah, I just get so excited with the information, and I just want to relay it all at once. I just feel like the universe is saying, slow down, take it easy, one step at a time, one, yeah. And it's where my train of thought is going now, and maybe there are good reasons to slowing down, all right, because now my train of thought is going towards this topic, all right, and which is holding a space for you, or the importance and the power of holding a space for you is that so that you begin to also take care of yourself, prioritize your physical and mental well-being. It's really important that you drink a lot of water. You learn to listen to your body actively, and your body will always tell you what it needs. All right. It will always tell you what vitamins and food it needs. All right. Minerals, vitamins. If it's deficient of something, it will tell you, and you can simply go do a vitamin test, right? But your diet. Now, if your body is telling you that it's craving sugar, it simply means that you have parasites, which is fine, right? That's what sugar does. You can just simply eat some raw garlic. It's so funny as well because the consciousness of those parasites is what sends that signal to your body that it wants sugar. Your body on its own does not crave sugar, right? That's scientifically proven. We don't need sugar, right? So just you can just have some like one or two or a few one or two cloves of garlic, right? Or if you have it, the garlic juice or whatever, right? The most potent form of it, right? One or two of it for about 2 to 3 days, and that will kill the parasites. The burning is what kills the parasites. All right. I think this is really important because men really have crappy diets in general, though I presume that our community will already be those who prioritize their health All right, but just to standardize this, I have to hold the space so that you remember how important it is for you to prioritize your diet. Your diet, exercise, incredibly important. Getting your joints and bones moving and feeling that there are certain oils or fluids that generates when your body is moving, and it lubricates your bones, all right, to prevent shock and stuff like that. Nutrition, diet, all right. So when you eliminate sugar, you automatically eat healthier foods. Uh, and when you also, yeah, really take this, yeah, I'm also getting sleep, right? This is a space for men who prioritize their sleep more, right? Men or whoever resonates with this video, right? Sleep is essential. There's been a period of time, a couple of weeks back, where I think the entire world had insomnia. It was really hard to sleep for the past couple of weeks, and that's because I don't want to go into it in this video, but it's a lot. But yeah, sitting lessons, sitting, we were just learning to let go, right? I don't want to go into that. It's a huge topic, but yeah. Sleep is essential as well. So I'm holding this space so that um, we as a community now, right? So we prioritize sleep and rest more. I feel like when your body rests more, it produces more hormones and stuff like that. So yeah. So yeah, well-being, health, all of these different areas of your life are being held, all right? So that's the importance of it. Mm, all right. Next topic is, yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying this video so far. If you are, let me know in the comments. I would love to know right now because uh, I want to see where you guys are, if you received this, if it's resonated with you, all right, which parts resonate most, which areas you felt you needed to hear most, all right? Was it health, diet, exercise, sleep, some of the stuff I mentioned previously? Yeah, like courses and content and coaches and support, all right? There's so many other areas that gets held as well, like relationships. When a space is held for you and your relationships, it automatically becomes a standard, at least in my space, the space I'm holding, that you will now standardize the quality of relationships you allow to enter your life. This is your choice. You have this door either opened or closed. You are the bodyguard, bouncer to this space, to your own life, to your kid's life. That person can hinder or benefit your life. And you have to decide, you have to journal on this, what the ideal person looks like, feels like, operates like, what their consciousness is like, all right, who you're going to allow into your space so that they don't F your space up again, and like the previous partners, right? Which is all well and fine. We've all had it. This is a learning opportunity, right? To level up the people in your space, to let go of the fear that if I raise my standards too high, I won't attract anyone. It's the opposite. It's when you raise your standards higher, is the fear something like that. I'll get into that next topic, right? But essentially, we're holding a space for that as well. All right. So, yeah, I didn't realize I was holding all of the space, but we are doing this as a community, right? I'm just here to facilitate stuff, right? Take things one step at a time, which I feel like is the most important, one of these most important features of this space right now. The energetics of how we navigate this, right? The kind of slow but sure way, the slow but very potent way, meaning that even though we take one step at a time, it's so potent and powerful that so much happens in this container. All right. So it's just so grounded. It's so centered and grounded and held and supported and loved and appreciated. Oh, and reciprocated and shared and yeah, valued, that this space I'm holding right here, it can't be broken down by the uh vices of society, right? The lower consciousness, the traps, all of the hidden traps, the of agendas of society, right? Because the space is so held so strongly, so powerfully, all right? That's the ultimate goal of this space. So no matter who tries to pull you down in your space, we as a community hold the space, or we teach ourselves how to hold the space for ourselves so that we have such a grounded, rooted perception of self, who we are and where we are going, all right, that it becomes, we become really unstoppable. So no matter what's going on in this world, all of the drama and politics, Trump, whatever, right? It does not matter because the space is so strong, right? It's so powerful, it's so held, and this is your calling, your destiny to be in this space, right? To be in a space such as this. Oh. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to this really cool, fun topic, right? Yep. Let me know your thoughts or not. It's fine either way, and we'll take it from there. All right, I'm signing out. Thank you for tuning in, and until next week. I'm doing this on a weekly basis, but I'm not sure what days, right? But I just know someday, some evening, this time, evening time. All right. Have a good night.